Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys what are the best and worst weeks for stocks throughout the calendar year. So the script works out of the box. You will be able to run this for any stock or ETF that you like. But in this tutorial, I'm going to be using the SPY and see if we can detect some sort of patterns throughout the calendar year. So here are some of the packages we're going to require. And in this first block, we're going to get data for the ETF. If you want to run this for a different stock or ETF, you would just have to change line 16. Within this block, we're also going to calculate the weekly return on the close. So the way that this is calculated is on a Friday to Friday close. So just keep that in mind when you're going through the code. Now, after we have gathered our data, it's time to split by year. So I'm just going to extract the unique years in our data set. And given each timestamp, I'm going to extract the week number and also add the year to our data. So if we take a look at RETDF, we have the weekly returns, the week number, and the year number as well. Now, back in the code, we're going to use this data. We're going to go ahead and reframe, and we're going to extract some information. We're going to group by week number. And for each of the week numbers, we're going to count the number of observations. We're going to extract the number of gains, the number of losses, the win percentage, the average return, the median return, the max and min return, our average gain, and our average loss. If we were to trade all of these weeks only, we would get our total return. And finally, we're going to calculate the annual Sharpe. So if we take a look at by week, here in this data frame, we see all of our stats. So of course, the first column is the week number. In the next block of code, we're going to plot the average return along with the week number. So going back here in this very next block, we're going to use Plotly. And we kind of see clusters of positive returns and a few negative ones. By using our table of stats, we're going to extract the instance with the highest Sharpe and the one with the lowest. So here in this next block, we're going to extract the best and worst occurrence. So if we take a look at the best week, and you might have noticed that I have two instances for the best week and only one for the worst. And that's because the best week was week number 0, which occurs when the week ends the first couple of days in January. So we see that these tend to be typically good. But since there's only 12 occurrences, I went with the second best, which was week number 48. And we could kind of see the returns here if we sort by lowest to greatest. So we have a few instances that are negative, but the great majority of them are positive. And the worst week for the SPY is week number 38. And if we sort by lowest to greatest, we see that the majority of these are negative and not that many instances that are positive. And by using these objects, we can go ahead and plot the returns. We're going to convert these XDS objects to data frames. So again, the best week or week 0 has pretty high returns, but not that many occurrences. And the second best has pretty high returns, while the worst typically leans more to the downside and only few occurrences to the upside. Now in this next block, we're going to extract next year's best and worst weeks, so we know the exact date. So we're going to create an empty XDS object, do a bit of formatting so we only get the trading days and exclude any holidays or weekends, and then subset the week number with the highest and lowest Sharpe. So again, for 2024, we don't have a week 0, but we do have a week 48, which ends on November 29th. And for the worst week, which ends September 20th, that would be week number 38. Now, of course, past performance is not indicative of forward returns, but we can generally get an idea of whether it's seasonally a good week or a bad one. Well, with that, guys, this concludes the video. As I mentioned, you can change the ETF or stock and run the code to see if you can detect some patterns. And I hope this was useful information. I'll leave a link down in the description area to my Patreon where you can find the script. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.